back to Minnesota Live. It's 9:24. If you have gone through a divorce, you are probably familiar with the term spousal maintenance. It's a payment from one spouse to the other to ensure that the party's monthly budget needs are met.
So today we have Jody Tursich and Shannon Ort from the law offices of Tursich and Ort here to explain the proposed changes to spousal support in Minnesota. Thanks for joining us, guys. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Jody, just start with explaining what exactly this is. We just had a 10-minute conversation during the commercial break, so let's talk about that first.
Spousal maintenance is a payment of money from one spouse to the other to help meet the other person's needs. So you're not making enough money to support yourself under the standard of living, and so the other spouse is paying money to help you meet those needs.
Did it used to be called something else?
No. It's known, lots of people think of it as alimony or spousal support, but Minnesota law calls it spousal maintenance.
Gotcha. Okay.
And when you go through a divorce, is one party always entitled to this spousal maintenance?
No, I mean, that's the problem. There are factors for the court to consider, and there's lots of discretion. So there's lots of people that have disputes about that, how much should be paid and for how long in light of the current law.
And this is, I know this from friends who have dealt with this in certain ways or another. It is a very, very contentious topic.
Oh, very contentious.
But probably one of the tougher things that couples have to deal with when they get divorced,
yes,
right?
It's highly litigated. That and custody are probably the most litigated areas of divorce, yes, because we have lots of different factors that go into it. It's not a formula where child support, you input a couple of numbers and you have your answer. And this gives discretion for the judges to make those decisions based on factors.
And every judge could make a different decision, right?
Right.
Which challenges things.
Right, exactly. So you're seeing these factors and people are weighing these factors and coming to different conclusions. And so there's a lot of inconsistency from one family to another about how much do I pay, how long do I pay that? And so you can see where people litigate then because they're getting different advice and they're getting different feedback.
So why isn't there like a norm for this? Why isn't there a form? Why isn't it? I mean, it seems like with legal things, there are so many forms out there that we're dealing with. Why isn't there a form where you just put in the money and boom, the number comes out the bottom and that's what you pay, no questions asked?
I would think it would be because there's just, families are so different. You might have special needs children. You might have a spouse who was injured during the marriage. Think of the economy, how it goes up and down. You just can't have a tight formula.
Okay.
And so this is where a good attorney comes in. I'm imagining you guys are going to tell us, right?
Well, certainly good lawyering so that you at least understand the range of possibilities, right? Because that's all a lawyer can do at this stage. Under the existing law, there is no lawyer that can say, you will pay this dollar amount for this long, because we don't know because of that discretion. But Minnesota's trying to address that in the new proposals and changes to the spousal maintenance bills. They're trying to create a little bit more formula, not a straight formula as Jody's talking about, but some identified kind of benchmarks so that people can get better advice or narrow the disputes to hopefully avoid as much litigation.
Do other states have some sort of formula in place? Is Minnesota kind of in line with what other states are doing, or is...
Some states have different parameters, more parameters than we have. We have absolutely no parameters at this point, from it being temporary to it being permanent. There are no parameters at all around any of that, around how much it should be. And so right now, the bill before the legislature is trying to at least put some duration on it. If you've been married less than 5 years, it's presumed there's none. If you've been married between 6 and 20 years, it's presumed that it's half the length of the marriage. If you've been married 20 years or more, then it would be permanent or indefinite is what they're calling it now. But that law hasn't passed, and that's what they're proposing.
Do you all have a position on this?
It's getting a lot of support. So, I mean, obviously, as any bill that goes through the legislature, there's going to be support in different places and concerns in different places. But certainly, I think it's garnering a lot of support from the family law bar and from, constituents in the state of Minnesota to avoid that inconsistency, right? So families in similar situations have similar outcomes. And so I do think that we need some additional parameters. And of course, we are looking for some guidance from the legislature so we can help clients navigate this in a better way.
I guess I was just thinking the flip side of it is if there's a formula, then you have to follow the formula. And then it's harder to then argue different circumstances outside of what the formula is. Does that make sense?
That is true, and that you are more likely to see the outcome. And in most of the laws, there's an ability to say, but this is rebuttable.
As it is now, right,
Yes.
yeah.
And so here is a special circumstance why it should be something else.
When do we expect to hear about the legislation? Where do things stand right now?
Well, of course, we don't really know, but right, we're probably 6 weeks out from, kind of hearing where they're talking about, the current bill talks about implementing the new laws if they pass, right, in August. And so if things move forward and they get passed without major adjustments, it could be as soon as August, but again, we don't really know. And we expect there'll be some changes, right? Very rarely are they rubber stamped. There could be some changes to how it plays out.
Would it kind of be retroactive? Could it apply to couples that already have, the spousal support figured out? Could you then go back and say, now we're gonna?
No, it won't adjust somebody else's maintenance award. So somebody who got an award of maintenance in 2023, that award will stay as it was court ordered. It's not going to change that.
This would be for new cases moving forward.
Right.
Any case decided currently, it's August 1st,
August 1st,
2024.
if that were to
If I were sitting at home right now and I was contemplating a divorce and I just listened to this last 5 minutes of what we just talked about, I would be like, I'm not going to do it. This seems like a lot. I mean, it really does seem like a lot. But again, I'm guessing where that falls into having some people who know what they're doing to help kind of navigate all this.
Well, certainly, I think the takeaway for somebody that's really contemplating, do I move forward now or then, is thinking about the duration of your marriage, right? If you are somebody that's been married 5 years, you're right on the cusp of those changes. Or if you've been, right? So we don't advocate for people to stay married or to move forward based on those kind of things, because there's so many other factors. What does this look like? What is the conflict? Is this a livable situation, right? So there's lots of considerations, but certainly the duration piece is going to be a big factor if this moves forward and passes. And we're thinking at least some piece of this is likely to change Minnesota law.
Okay. Well, we'll count on you to keep us updated on it.
Thank you.
Thank
Jody
you.
Shannon, thank you. We post contact information for Jody Shannon and their team at Turzich and Ort for you on MinnesotaLive.com.